Mind the sign. (1957) FOB, FOM, FOB. What? Signs everywhere. What do they tell you? Some signs tell us which way to go. Which path will take them to the little bear cubs? Right or left? You get to see the monkey right away. Look at that. Peter is going to Little Rock. Through which gate should he go? Gate 1 or 2? Little Rock. Looks like he's taking the train. Which sign tells you how to get to the airplane? It looks like there's some green splotch on this slide. What do these red signs tell you? Some of the red may have faded. Some signs tell us how to keep from getting hurt. What is this jester character doing? What's up with this outfit? He's the train crossing guy? Which of these boys may get hurt and why? Well, let's examine the picture. There is a boy walking across the street when it says don't walk, and there is a red car that perhaps is moving. There are lines by the wheel. Then there is a boy and being followed by 2 girls who is going across a walk area. One boy may be hit by a car. The other boy, he could get hurt too. The plane is going to land. What must the passengers do and why? That is a huge window on the plane. No? The cockpit is open. The newspaper is being read. What does this sign tell you about the ice? The sign itself is not heavy enough to go through. Why does Mother keep this bottle on the very top shelf? Why does Mother keep the poison in the medicine cabinet? Some signs tell us how to help others. Jimmy, do not handle the food, whether they be produce or can. Oh, the cans, I guess, are in her cart. No spitting. Is this all in the store? What will happen if Joe and May and Tom do not mind the sign? They might boycott the bus. Why is this sign in the library? Why is the librarian not stopping the boys from talking? Why is she just getting angry? The other boys are also angry and looking at them. Where is their... oh, there's the table. Maybe it's... Here is what happens when one boy forgets to mind the sign. Now the sign tells you to keep to the right, but the door is on the right side where they are coming out. I think he would be best to move to the left. What do you think? Some signs help us to do things the right way. Other signs seem to have us do things the wrong way. Pay cashier. Ring bell, walk in. Shake well before using. Please take one. Just one? Why is it important to know what this sign says? It's more like a toggle switch than the lever. What a change that is. What? What other signs do you see around your school? Wink, wink. Don't be a litter bug. Rubbish goes in here. There's my test results. I didn't study. Where should Mary put her money? It says deposit coin here, but I don't think that soda is a good job, or is a good job, is good value for your 5 cents, Mary. Perhaps you should invest it somewhere else. Why don't you get a drink from the water fountain? During those times, you could still find one, or maybe two. What do you think is in this package? But why, more importantly, is the mailman carrying his bag of mail when he could have just carried the package down the driveway? No need for that sack other than to tell us it's the mailman. What is in the package? They're still tying things with string. Tape is not being used. Do you notice that? That's a big change. But there's something moistening that label. The stamps certainly have stickiness, and 3 birds are flying together. That is a point in the highlights game. What to do in a car. There are some signs without words. What does this one mean? The red light and the hand. Palm forward up. Facing, I guess those other children are going to cross the path coming from school. They're telling the driver to stop, but it almost seems like he's on the wrong side of the road, or this is a one-way road. But the school bus seems to be on the other side of the road. Is there enough road to the left of the frame? What does this sign tell us? It says stop when red and go when green. Also an airplane. The airplane flies right over the school at that low altitude. That must be so noisy, and yet they are flabbergasted by the traffic light that is not suspended over the road, but merely on the side. We all know what this means. Do you know any other signs without words? Another place to be quiet is in the hospital. Are those nurses holding hands? Forget gay hockey. How about lesbian nurses? I mean, I like how that is tacked in only the one corner, probably the second one. That bottom will roll up eventually, unless it is very stiff paper. Very bright lights at the back of the hall there. 6 of them, we can count by 3s or 2s. Now father must drive more carefully. Is that the same school bridge? Why? There's another car approaching him. He's over in the side. What is that brown line in the middle? I don't know what that means. It's nighttime? There's not enough room under the bridge. Oh, there's that little elf guy. It almost looks like That dude from Canada who interviews people when he's all in a fat suit. Martin Short. Is that Martin Short as an elf? The best way for you and me to keep things safe and fine is to learn the ABC and always mind the sign. Always be careful. By candlelight. But yet this is electricity and a bulb. Oh, the end.